Drake right now is trying to take on UMG. He's filed a petition against UMG Music, claiming that. Now, keep in mind, UMG Universal Music Group distributes both music for Kendrick Lamar and Drake are under the Universal Music Group. So they distribute music for both artists. So keep that in mind. He's accusing Universal Music Group of boasting not like us with streams, with in terms of streams, and inflating those streams with artificial bots. He's accusing them of pay to play, which is a payola. If you don't know anything about the radio industry, payola. There's a Payola Act of 1934 that was designed to not have. It's illegal to pay radio stations to play your music without payment or with legal payment. He's been accused. He accuses them of there's also petitions claims that a podcaster was paid $2,500 by Interscope, which Kendrick Lamar is under Interscope, of paying them $2,500 to use bots in order for Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us to reach Spotify. Spotify, Not Like Us, reached 30 million streams on the day of its release at Spotify. Not Like Us reached 30 million streams. He also accuses social media influencers, and including the NFR podcast, which is a very popular podcast, has hundreds of thousands of subscribers on YouTube, to promote Not Like Us. Not Like Us has done 900 million streams, which makes it the most streamed diss track in the history of Spotify. So, give you a little context. Drake signed what reportedly, this is not an official number, what reportedly was a $400 million deal with UMG back in 2022. Okay, so, but why? Why would Drake do this? Now, keep this in mind, because I've seen this misreported, and I've seen a lot of people get confused by this. This is not a lawsuit. It has not reached a level of lawsuit. It's a petition. I read it. It's 17 pages. Is available. Is available. It's a 17-page document that's PDF. It's available to the public. I read it today. It is not a lawsuit. It is a petition. It's starting off as a petition. So this is not a lawsuit. It is not directed towards Kendrick Lamar. This is toward this is a petition against looking into UMG, Spotify, and Apple. So that's another very important thing. A lot of people get confused with that. This is not direct. This is not a lawsuit against Kendrick Lamar. It's not a defamation suit against the song Not Like Us. Here's where the reason why Drake is doing this, right? Let's go beyond the aspect of him being a sore loser for the loss that he took in the battle that he had back in May, right? Let's put that aside. The reason why Drake is doing this is, for the first time in over a decade, for the first time since he has been separated from Lil Wayne and Nicki Minaj, since he branched off by himself as an individual artist, for the first time, like I said, in over a decade, he is no longer the top guy. So, not only did Kendrick Lamar, we've known for years that Kendrick Lamar was a superior rapper to Drake, and it was from an artistry standpoint, just was surpassed Drake. It had been, we understood that for years. And anybody in the game outside of Drake understands that Kendrick Lamar is a better rapper than Drake. That's not even comparable. Lyrically, whatever. Lyrically, aesthetically, it doesn't matter. He's always been better. But the one thing Drake always had was the numbers. Drake always had the numbers. Even when Drake lost the battle to Pusha back in 2018, not a big deal, but really not a big deal because I'm still the biggest rapper in the world, one of the biggest artists in the world. Pusha, yeah, you got it, but they'll forget about you in a couple weeks. And we do it. Like, we didn't forget about that battle. That battle, people were kind of bringing it up during the Kendrick battle, but that did not hurt Drake. Losing to Pusha did not hurt Drake as far as him being the top guy in the industry. It did. Losing this battle and the way he lost it took him from 1 to 2. And in Drake's world, going from 1 to 2, he might as well went from 1 to 100. Okay. Drake has never operated not being the top guy. Right now, Kendrick is the top guy. I mentioned earlier those numbers on for this GNX album is on pace to be one of the most streamed hip hop albums of all time. It's on pace to be one of the most. It's projected to be the most streamed hip hop album of 2024. And Drake cannot handle that. He can't handle not only losing this, he can't handle it. Period. So, and this tells you about who Drake is, because when Jay-Z lost to Nas, Jay-Z just simply went and he came out with two terrible diss albums, like Super Ugly. He came out with some other shit that didn't even break it. That was just so bad it didn't even get national acclaim. Like it didn't even get attention. Jay-Z came out with some horrible diss. Beyond Super Ugly was horrible, but he came out with another one that didn't even get much play. That's how bad it was. But he still went back to the studio. Like he still made quality music well after that. He still came out Blueprint 2, which had some hits and misses, but was maybe an underrated album. He still came out with the Black Album. He still came out 444, American Gangster. Like Jay-Z's career was fine after that when he lost that battle. So that would be the hip hop thing to do for somebody who actually loved hip hop and cared about hip hop and was about hip hop. That's the problem with Drake. Drake has never been about hip hop. He's never loved hip hop. It's only been about what hip hop can do for him, or the benefits, the women, the money, the prestige, the awards. That's all. That's Drake cares about what hip hop has done for him in terms of his popularity. And he's at his heart, he's probably a pop star. He is a pop star at heart. That has crossed over into he's crossed over into being one of the biggest hip hop stars of the decade, the biggest hip hop star of the past decade. So if you think that going against the industry, I've heard a lot of this too, that this is going to be a game changer, that Drake somehow, by taking on the industry, is going to expose things. First of all, everybody knows that streams and there are bots and streams. We talked about that during the political campaign about bots and artificial, and you see that on different podcasts. You'll see that on YouTube. You'll see the bots if you follow certain shows. That's not new. That's not groundbreaking news that there are bots. You can't accuse somebody of doing something that you've been the beneficiary of, because if you don't think Spotify and these groups and the UMG has pushed Drake's albums with illegal with artificial bots, like, you got to be kidding me. So he's going to, from that standpoint alone, he's going to lose this battle. Period. He's going to lose this battle because Drake doesn't have any friends in the industry. You might have some artists do some tweet like, "Yo, we got you, Drake," on Twitter, but nobody's going to risk their careers or their money to go fight alongside with Drake to try to quote unquote take down the industry. No. It's not going to happen. Drake is a guy who, again, he doesn't have, like Stringer Bell at the end of his reign in The Wire. He did not have any friends. He does not have friends in the industry. Drake has pissed off a lot of people within the industry. Drake's friendships are transactional. Is what Drake can do for them, or what is it was more about what Drake can do for them, or what he can do for the other artists. All right, I'll put you on. You want to jump on my song? All right, that's gonna boost your popularity or your ratings or your put money in your pocket. Drake don't got guys and people in the industry that's gonna ride for him to take on UMG or to take on Spotify or to take on the music industry. No. That's where the delusion comes in. So he is no longer the guy in the industry. That's it. That reign is done. It was an all-time great reign. Like, no rap artist has been on top as long as Drake has been on top ever. Not even Jay-Z. So at some point that reign had to come to an end. And Spotify, UMG decided. And by the way, when you read the petition, the stuff that Drake is saying is not out of, like, it's not crazy. Yeah, I can see a situation where UMG saw the cultural impact that Not Like Us had on it and said, "Hey, we gotta, This is something. This is a once in a decade type song. We gotta push this song. We really gotta push this song. Kendrick did won this battle. He got the Super Bowl. He booked the Super Bowl. Yeah, I definitely could see the powers that be pushing this song, giving it an extra push. Not to the level that Drake says it. Not to the point to where he made this song a cultural. You can listen. Either a song is a slap or it's not. You can only push a song so far with artificial stats and bots and stuff like that. The song has to slap. That's number one. The song has to, you had pastors and churches talking about this song. This song reached everybody. This song touched everybody. Everybody. This song was argued one of the biggest songs of the decade so far, as far as the impact that it's had. This is 2024 as we head towards the halfway point of this decade, of the 2020s decade. This song is one of the most impactful songs of this decade. Period. Especially in hip hop, in all of hip hop. So, I can see UMG giving it a little push, but UMG also has given Drake albums and his songs, individual songs, a push. That's the problem. And that's what Drake cannot see. That doesn't realize, dude, you're fighting a battle that is an unwinnable battle that he's fighting. This thing might reach a lawsuit. Don't be surprised if this doesn't reach the point to where it is not a lawsuit. Don't be surprised if somebody just tells Drake, like, yo, you better chill. You better chill. You really want this battle, because he's going to be on his own. This is not like Drake. Drake is not Braveheart. He don't got the people. He's not Maximus from Gladiator. He don't have the crowd. The Drake stands have y'all. The Drake stands, y'all have no power in this. Y'all have no power. Y'all can sit up here and stand by Drake. Y'all can sit up here, yeah, Kendrick, yeah, he won the battle. In the terms, when it comes to litigation, when it comes to this industry shit, the Drake stands have no power. Zero. It doesn't matter how many fans he has or stands he has. So this is a case of a guy who can't handle not being the top guy. He can't handle it. And again, I question his. Look how he's moved since this battle's taken place. The stupid post, the cryptic post, the DeMar DeRozan, take DeMar DeRozan's jersey down or something, that bullshit. The talking under his breath when DeMar DeRozan came back to Toronto, getting on streams with these random people who may be famous in terms of Twitch and stuff like that, but just weird moves in general that has nothing to do with hip hop, has nothing to do with taking the L or getting in the studio. Drake came out with a 3-pack in July. Yeah, one of the songs was hot, but it didn't. I mean, we forgot about it in 2 weeks. The best thing for Drake to do would be to go away and just make dope music.